Welcome to the Fantasy Boss Show. I'm Isaac. I'm with Ryan, Julius, and Ethan. Today we're going to be talking about rookies from 2018 and 2019, and also Ethan and Julius will be giving their rankings of our Dynasty League. Welcome on the show, guys.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for inviting
Ryan,
us.
thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thanks for turning your head here.
Yeah. So, Julius has his power rankings. Let's just dive into it, and then Ethan, you can chime in too whenever you feel like it.
Now, my power rankings for our league goes as follows. Number 1.
All right, take it from the bottom.
Yeah,
Bottom
start from
up?
the bottom. Yeah,
bottom
Bottom
up.
up? All right,
Make it more suspenseful.
I am dead last. My team sucks.
Hey,
I
you
will
gotta be
admit
honest.
So, who's next?
Up next, Ethan Tucker. Admittedly, he has some better running backs than I do.
The second best person in this episode. I'll take it.
Yeah. And he has pretty bad quarterbacks and
Better than Isaac's.
pretty bad wide receivers, so that's why he's number 9.
Actually, I think my quarterbacks are better than yours.
Really?
Who are your quarterbacks?
Carson Wentz and Marcus Mariota, and soon to be Kyler Murray.
Okay, even with Kyler Murray, I still think that
That's-
Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson
Okay.
are better.
Okay.
A couple of weeks ago on Sleeper, which is the fantasy app we use, as discussed later in an earlier episode, Lamar Jackson said that he was trying to improve his accuracy.
Exactly.
What quarterback needs to improve their accuracy in the NFL?
Marcus
what quarterback
Mariota.
isn't actively always trying to do
Yeah,
that? Like
Marcus-
do you have to
Marcus-
say that. Like,
Marcus Mariota can't even stay healthy for 10 games a season. So
I
how
get
is
it.
he a
He's
starter?
very injury prone,
Yeah.
but I have both Tannehill, which isn't better, and
He
Mariota.
sucks
no,
too.
He'll have
So,
Kyler
they're-
Murray will be definitely a stud in the league. And
Yeah.
then
No,
you have
You
Wentz.
cannot say that
Those are two young people
Lamar
that
Jackson.
have very bright futures.
Lamar Jackson cannot throw the ball. He had 3.
He doesn't need to throw the ball. He still puts up
Now,
amazing
The
numbers.
thing is,
Yeah.
the Ravens have built an offense around the fact that he can
Yeah,
run the ball.
but that can only last so long. That's what they did with RG3. And it
Now,
only lasted
longevity,
so
that
long.
might not be the best case scenario, but
It's only if
And
you're
then
he
doing,
put up yards and touchdowns.
if you're doing a rebuild like Isaac, Lamar Jackson's not the guy you want.
He is the guy.
He'll
Josh
definitely
Allen
get
isn't
injured
any
by the
better.
time you're
I mean,
contending.
yeah, you can
Isn't
throw
any
80
better?
yards,
The
but
last 5
he's not
weeks of
gonna
the
be able to-
season, Josh Allen was the number 1 QB in fantasy. So he's had momentum right now, so he's going to carry it on in 2019 with better
So what
weapons.
happened to the first 11 games?
He wasn't even starting half of them. He was hurt for half of them. He beat the Vikings in one of those games.
So he was hurt, and you're saying that
Beating the
Marcus
Vikings or
Mariota
something?
is hurt too.
Yeah, but Marcus Mariota's been hurt for 5 years. Like, he hasn't done
No,
anything.
what Marcus Mariota's problem has been is just a revolving door of coordinators. Every year they get poached, and then he has to adjust to a new system.
I mean, would you want to stay with that guy as your quarterback?
Well, that's
I'd
the
look for a
problem.
new
He's
job.
never had time to develop under one guy.
Yeah? So is that problem solved? No, their guy just left.
All right, so
Yeah,
moving on
exactly.
to power rankings. Who would you say next, Julius?
Yes, my power rankings. Number 8 is,
Skip a few.
is Isaac Miles. Isaac, he traded away his entire team for a bunch of useless draft picks, which will turn into decent rookies. Not the best. Number 8. Number 7, Jake Tremblay. Jacob
Really?
Tremblay has some decent pieces.
Hill, Mixon, and Henry.
He has Tyreek Hill, who may not play for half the
Oh
season
yeah, that's true.
because
May not play
There were
again.
Allegations against him.
he may be suspended for some time.
Hey,
Maybe.
can I see your
But-
arm for a second?
He also has. What else does he
Are you
have?
sure you want to be saying that right now? Breaking your arms.
Yeah.
So he also has Joe Mixon, Russell Wilson,
Yes.
uh,
Derrick Henry,
Derrick Henry.
who Amari Cooper, AJ
Yeah,
Green,
That's
OJ Howard.
Jake has one of the complete teams in the league though. He doesn't have a weakness. Is the real thing. Except for
Draft
Royce
picks.
Freeman.
Draft
Royce Freeman-
picks.
He
Yeah.
has.
He has no draft picks.
He has.
Well, it doesn't
2.0
matter if
on-
you don't need draft picks. Like my team
2.06.
is set without draft picks.
Well, who do you have after Jake?
Well, so Jake comes in at number 7. Number 6, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Jeremy, he's pretty decent. He's got Zeke. Zeke is a very good player. Drew Brees, he may regress, but
There's a
still,
lot of
either way.
aging players on this
Some
team. I
aging
think.
players. Alshon Jeffrey's getting up there, but I like Sony Michel. I like Andrew Luck. Other than that, he's got Julio as well. Julio's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Only led the league in receiving yards for
Yeah.
4 straight years.
Well, whatever.
What's really good?
Couple touchdowns. So
I guess.
yeah,
I
that's
guess you got a point there.
Jeremy. Pretty solid team. Comes in at number 6. Number 5, rounding out. No, not rounding out. Starting the top 5. Joey Dickey. Joey was on a hot
You're just
streak.
saying that because of Chubb, to be honest. Like
Joey I like Nick Chubb
Julius
a lot.
loves Chubb. Just
I will say I do. And
Also a fan of the running back.
Joey has him as well as Todd Gurley. Let me find him here.
He's got Baker Mayfield,
He has Baker Mayfield, who is
Sam
a
Darnold.
great quarterback.
Jared Goff.
He's got some really good young upside as well, and some good established players. Mike Williams has some good upside. Jared Cook going into a new team, New Orleans Saints. Let's see how Drew Brees uses him.
how'd they use Ben Watson? I don't think he.
How'd they use Jimmy Graham? They used him pretty
yeah,
good, didn't they?
I guess.
He's got DJ Moore. He was a very promising rookie, as well as Stephon Diggs. And Zach Ertz, a very good tight end. Number 4, Jacob Brickman. Brickman's got a pretty good team, you know. Travis Kelce, Jameis Winston, Melvin Gordon. Not bad. Overall, pretty solid team, number 4.
Yeah, I'd agree so far. Your rankings are.
Number 3, Jonah. Jonah has Juju Smith-Schuster as well as Saquon Barkley. Pretty good players right there. Cam Newton, decent. Damian Williams, who you'll hear later in this episode.
Trash.
Brandon Cooks.
We're going to keep
See,
him under the
do you
radar.
think Chiefs are going to go
Sterling
after a new
Shepard.
running back?
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett,
Yeah, you'd
Mitch
say.
Very red
Trubisky.
zone target.
Who?
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett, yeah. I traded him.
Touchdown dependent. That's what that means.
Touchdown dependent, maybe.
He was the first guy to have 158.3 passer rating. That's saying
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I mean, you got to give
Kirk-
the guy cred.
Kirk had a perfect passer rating. I mean, not Kirk. Russell Wilson had a perfect passer rating.
Yeah, you
when
wish you had Russell
yeah,
Wilson.
yeah. I saw a trade. Someone was talking about how they could trade Russell Wilson to the Vikings, but they ended up extending him instead.
No trade clause.
Yeah.
Number 2 on my rankings.
This is where I start to disagree.
Is Ryan. Ryan, you're number 2.
I've already disagreed.
All right, Julius, I just need to know why.
It's highly
Like,
overrated.
He's about to tell you why.
Ben Roethlisberger is 37.
okay, yeah, but looking at Roethlisberger, he was QB2. He's shown no signs of like slowing down.
Okay.
He's still got great weapons.
Whatever,
Juju,
man.
James
He just
Washington,
lost his best weapon.
best O line. I mean, who cares? Brady can still do so much just because he has such a great passing O line. Like,
Let me
I-
get to your team, man.
all right,
Talk about
all
it.
right.
James Conner, basically Le'Veon Bell.
Product
Same
of the
thing.
offense.
Marlon Mack has a good old line. That's a good thing. Hopkins, Adams, Marvin Jones.
Sucks.
Lamar Miller.
You know, I
Yeah,
got
but you don't really need a good receiver after Devontae Adams. to
I'd
be
say-
honest.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
people with best upside is George Kittle, James Conner, Marlon Mack,
Just name my
You're just
entire
reading his
roster.
whole
Yeah.
roster now?
and DeAndre Hopkins. I will not mention Devontae Adams.
All right, how many studs
For the
do you
Packers.
need before you have the best team? Like
Ethan
Just
can.
wait till
Ethan's team
Wait
answers
till
that
number one.
question.
Number
studs
one,
or name value is the real question.
Number one,
Studs.
Ethan Miles. He's got Patrick Mahomes, Alvin Kamara, Adam Thielen, Keenan Allen,
Did you skip over David
Le'Veon
Johnson?
Bell, David Johnson. He's on his bench.
Yeah. No, he's in his lineup.
All I'm hearing is a team from 2015 that would be good at competing.
Really?
Patrick-
We're in
Pat-
2019 now.
Pat Mahomes wasn't in the league
Well,
in
okay,
2015.
well, Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, like,
Didn't
come
you
on.
lose in the playoffs, Ryan? So clearly your team wasn't even.
All right, it's not
Yeah.
about losing in the playoffs.
It's about
Uh,
losing in the championship, which
I
you
went
did to
11 and
Ethan.
3, higher than anyone else.
I'm sorry, but you
So,
went 0-1 in the championship.
okay.
That's really all that
How many
matters.
championships did you make it to, Isaac?
How many
At
did
least
you
I have a
win?
number by my name.
We have the same amount of wins in the championship.
All right, guys, we're off topic here. All right, well, my power rankings we will review. Number 1, Ethan Miles. Number 2, Ryan Mish. 3, Jonah. 4, Brickman. 5, Joey. 6, Jeremy. 7, Tremblay. 8, Isaac Miles. 9, Ethan. And 10, myself.
Yeah.
So,
Not a bad list. I like how you
So-
wrote Julius, though.
yeah.
Instead of-
yeah.
Yes.
Third,
For my-
third person.
Power rankings for our league. I will agree with Julius for all of them except for Isaac and myself. I would put my team before Isaac's at number 8 and Isaac's at number 9.
Which we did make a $30 bet on. So the person who finishes higher wins $30. So
His rookie picks, I don't think will pan out.
my
That's
10 rookie
gonna-
none of them will pan out.
And he can
Yeah,
only hold
yeah,
None of
I
my
mean,
15
Go back
guys.
to any draft and let me know when there was 10 first rounders that didn't pan
We have a
out.
taxi
Like,
squad, and that limits Isaac to only
Well, I can
5
I can
but
keep
you
all
can-
10 of
you can
them.
drop players on
I'll
your
drop 5 guys.
which he can because his team isn't good.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
My
Well, he has
running
a-
backs aren't established, but I do believe they have a lot of upside.
They-
And I think they will fit that role nicely.
Upside? Where's the upside in Dalvin Cook?
Well,
Running behind one of the worst O lines in the league. And
Still can have good games.
How?
you know what?
And-
You know what wins championships, Ethan? Consistency. Dalvin Cook, if you're saying he
I'm
might
not
have
trying
a
to
good
win
game, that's not what you
championships.
want
I'm
on your
just trying to
team.
get the buy-in back.
Okay.
He's just trying to. He knows it'll be the bottom of the barrel. He's just hoping I'm lower.
With my 2019 1.01, I believe Kyler Murray I will select Kyler Murray in the draft.
Whoa.
You believe? Or you? This is an
This is an
early
announcement?
decision. Yeah. Wow.
You
Okay.
didn't-
Guy's got the first
Where do you
pick,
think
he can
Murray's
say whatever he
going?
wants.
He's either going to go with the Cardinals at the first overall pick in the NFL
You,
draft.
you think they're going to ditch Rosen already?
They might, or with
But-
the Giants at number 6. But if neither of those teams take him, I can.
The
easily see
Giants,
Giants.
the Giants and the Redskins both said that they're not interested in Josh Rosen. So are they really going to draft a guy to just trade a quarterback for nothing? A guy that
Yeah.
they took last year with their first
no
round
one would have
pick.
done good in Rosen's shoes last year. He had just
Except
no
maybe
help.
Kyler
He had
Murray.
nothing.
I think he had the most sacks under 2
Well, either
seconds.
way, Kyler
Yeah.
Murray will become an instant starter.
Yeah, wherever he is.
Nah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, I don't know. Rookie QBs, they rarely are that good.
Yeah, but better than this year's draft class with the running backs. Unless Josh Jacobs does something good.
We'll get into the rookies
Okay.
soon. First, we've got to keep trade cut. So, assuming a dynasty format, here are 3 running backs. Which of them would you be keeping, trading, and cutting? We have Tariq Cohen, Devontae Freeman, and Chris Carson.
All right. Should I go first?
Yeah, you can go.
All right. So
Tariq Cohen, Devontae Freeman, and Chris Carson.
for my keep, I believe I'm going to go with Carson on this one. I think Penny, I don't know if he's
Not-
going to win the
yeah,
starting
yeah.
job yet. And I think for this year at least he'll maintain his status.
Does this have something to do with the reason that Carson is what lost you the championship?
Yeah, so now you're gonna.
Yeah, a little
If you
bit
can't
of
beat him, join him.
Don't let Ethan
yeah,
hear this.
fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. For my trading, I'm just gonna trade Freeman because he's name value only, and he's turning 27 next year. So
Starting the season off.
take
at
notes,
26, so-
Ethan. And then I'm cutting Cohen because he's just a gadget player. He's not gonna do much.
Here is what I would do. What I would do in this situation, I would keep Devontae Freeman. I believe that some of his best games are ahead of him. With Tevin Coleman being gone, frees up that role is completely his. Ito Smith won't really do anything. I'm trading Chris Carson because I think that Rashad Penny will at least eat into quite a bit of his work.
You have to remember Mike Davis left Seattle too.
Yeah,
So
he did.
Some carries did
But
get
I,
freed up.
but I think that Rashad Penny will take those over and more this year because a first round pick, they're going to give him the ball. And I'm cutting Cohen because even with, like, they added Mike Davis, even though they lost Howard. I just think that he's reached his ceiling already.
Here's my opinion.
Oh,
All right, let it
can't
rip.
wait.
I'm bad at this. I'm gonna keep Chris Carson because the Seahawks are a heavy running team. They've got a pretty bad O-line, but that doesn't stop them anyways.
I'm pretty. Did they have a battle line or did they have Tom Cable? You know,
I mean,
that's the real question.
Who's
Look
Tom
what happened-
Cable?
The O line
O-line
coach.
coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember the Raiders had a good O line, and then he
Yeah,
showed
well.
up. All right. Anyways, continue.
well, I just like Chris Carson's volume. He's a pretty solid fantasy back, and he's the number 1, so I got to go with that. I'm gonna trade Tariq Cohen because of his upside. He's super young, really fast, good player overall, and Devontae Freeman is just too old, and he's coming off of a pretty big injury, so I'm gonna have to cut Freeman on this one.
All right.
Ethan sweating.
Freeman's on Ethan's team.
Freeman, Cohen, and Carson. I'm going to be keeping Freeman. He is going to
Of course you are. Of course you are.
Can you cut him for him?
Yeah.
He,
And also pick him up.
he is only 26 right now. He's pretty fresh, and I think his games will be a lot better next year.
Fresh what? Fresh ACL.
Fresh off the IR.
He's not too good with trading right now because people only think he's name value, but I
Yeah.
think this year he will prove himself.
And then what? Be 28.
I will be trading. I'll be trading Chris Carson. I do have Rashad Penny, so that might make me a little bit biased, but I do believe that Rashad Penny will be taking over the role soon, and I'll be cutting Cohen. Having Cohen on my team for the whole 2018 year, he did not produce well. With Howard there, and that committee running back will stay the same with Mike Davis there, and any new guys they pick up.
Yeah, no one want Mike Davis.
You have Mike Davis,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I dropped Mike Davis
So-
and Ryan picked him up.
keep Freeman, trade Carson, cut Cohen.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said too.
Good stuff.
So we're gonna move on to the 2019 rookies, and then we'll start off with the 2018 rookies. So Julius, who do you have for quarterback? 2018 rookies.
My
Looking at
QB
him now.
2018 rankings. Number 1, Baker Mayfield, complete stud. He's feeling dangerous.
Yeah,
He's got some moxie to him. I like it a lot.
has some weapons there now
He's
too.
got some weapons. But we're talking about 2018 here. 2018,
So not the addition of.
no.
Oh, I was saying like now. Who would you
We're
want?
talking now?
Yeah, like now. Who would you want on your dynasty team?
Well, this completely changes everything.
Would you still not want Baker?
I would still put Baker
Yeah,
first.
No,
I was gonna say
Baker.
yeah.
Baker's okay.
Well, then
yes,
who would you put second after that? I would put Josh Allen.
on my
Convenience.
dynasty?
Yeah.
On my dynasty team, number 2 is Sam Darnold. Then, because
I
Sam
agree.
Darnold, he's super young. He's basically a college quarterback at this point with NFL experience. I mean, he's got Le'Veon
Meaning he
Bell
plays
coming
like a
in.
college quarterback.
Yeah, I've read about.
Yeah, he does. But
A lot of the Jets
He's-
fans are saying he really did look good at the.
he was 21
end
years
of-
old. Did you see what they did
I mean,
without
a
him?
lot of Vikings said that about Kirk Cousins when he signed.
Well, one guy's has coming off
We're
his
talking
rookie
about
year.
Sam
One
Darnold
guy's
here.
been
Don't change the
established.
subject, please.
Well, I'm just going off what Brian said.
We're going off of too many tangents here that don't make any sense.
Josh Rosen is last. Still.
Josh Rosen is not very valuable. He is just a pocket quarterback at best. Think Sam Bradford, but with a little bit less upside. He's last.
Remember
That's-
when he said that like all the teams who passed on will be sorry? I'm pretty sure
Yes.
they're not.
But he had a hot tub in his dorm room. That's pretty cool.
How do you get a hot tub?
I think he just had like an inflatable pool and then like
Oh.
heated up the water.
They put just toaster in it. Hey guys, hop in.
But number 2 is Sam Darnold because of straight upside and youth and Le'Veon Bell. Big one. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. The Ravens have basically built a running offense around him with power backs and big blocking receivers, not necessarily guys that like to catch. Michael Crabtree. And
Is he still on the team?
no, he's not.
Oh.
He got released.
Who's their second receiver? Snead?
This is why they're
It's a good
taking
question.
Metcalf.
You see, but the Ravens don't value receivers as highly due to their offensive scheme.
Which is
Yeah, I
just
think
Lamar
that's
run
what,
20.
five tight
Perfect.
ends?
Lamar can't throw it, and DK can't
I'd
catch
say
it.
I'd say the Ravens value probably a running back and interior offensive line over a wide receiver simply because of how many times they're going to pass. The ability of Lamar
So
Jackson.
0.
Well, they're still going to
Yeah,
pass
yeah,
like
I mean-
200
I mean,
times
Sorry,
at
if
least.
the passes. then 0.
Lamar Jackson, he's probably gonna, he can go like 12 for 18 for like 150 yards on like an average week. So not
Go for
exactly a
18. I don't
passing
think
offense.
he's completing 60%.
But Lamar Jackson, either way, upside, Heisman winner, gotta go with him at number 3. 4, Josh Allen. Josh Allen, he was pretty good. The Bills kind of sucked, but he was a good bright spot. His receivers dropped a ton of passes. He was pretty, not overly accurate, but his completion percentage didn't exactly reflect his actual on-field play.
You think Shady's
They-
gonna have
they
a bounce back here?
They just added John Brown and Cole Beasley, so now he
They're
has
adding
weapons
in-
who can
they're
catch.
adding in some guys who can,
Sorry, where's the weapon?
who can take the top off.
Guys
Still
who can
listening,
catch.
They're adding in
Huh?
some deep threats. They're working on their
Receivers that
offense.
Isaac listed.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the good one.
Oh, yeah. When's the weapon?
Well, they've also got a top 10 pick, and they could draft DK Metcalf. They could not.
Hard-hitting
If they-
analysis right there.
Yeah, wow.
They could or they
Yes,
couldn't.
this is my
Is there a
analysis.
third?
There's a chance they take him.
If
There's
they-
a chance they don't.
If they don't,
Julius.
This is the hard-hitting analysis
I
you get
don't-
when Julius
I don't
comes on the
blame them
show.
if they don't take Metcalf, but if they do, it's a good deep threat as well because Josh Allen can chuck it. And
Yeah, that's true.
Josh
He
Rosen,
threw,
number
what, 70
5,
yards on his knees?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty
I
impressive.
don't know though, but we talked about Josh Rosen. He's kind of sucky, but he can be all right some years.
And,
Maybe some years, maybe not.
One thing I want to say about Josh Allen is he had an interview where how he got his arm so strong is he would just chuck rocks into
Yeah.
a dumpster from really far away and just keep doing that over and over and over again until he was able to throw the ball so far.
Take notes, kids.
So that's why he can throw it so far, but not accurately.
Lamar Jackson, take notes.
Yeah.
Work on your accuracy.
Build that arm strength.
All right, well, we're going to transition into running backs here. 2018 rookies, who I see as great fantasy upside potential guys.
Nick Chubb listed twice.
Yeah, I say that too. So I think this is
That's
not even
awkward.
up to debate. Barkley is the number one.
Barkley definitely.
Saquon Barkley,
Not even close.
pretty much the number one back. in
Number
terms of
one,
potential.
You don't
number one
think-
asset in
I
fantasy.
mean, who's their
Yeah.
QB though? I mean,
Doesn't
You don't need
matter.
QB.
well, you could
He
say
had
that about
Eli
what about
last year.
DJ last year.
He had
I mean, you
Eli.
could say it doesn't matter.
He had
but then-
Eli
That was-
Manning.
I think that was more
DJ
of
is
a,
not
that was a result
Barkley.
of the offensive
Okay.
coordinator being incompetent. They just forgot how to use their running back. That's what happened.
You don't think Pat Shermer is?
Pat Shermer, do you see what he did with the Vikings? I mean, pretty good OC.
No,
right
I don't
there.
watch the Vikings.
Yeah.
Even with Case Keenum.
We know that's why you're so stupid.
Oh,
But
jeez.
either way,
Taking shots.
Yeah, so we got 3 Vikings fans.
I'm
Isaac,
kidding, Ryan.
Julius, and me, and then Ryan.
Yeah,
is
the
the
voice of
best
reason over
Cheesehead.
here.
Mr. Cheesehead.
So,
Yeah, we got you. Darius
number
Battery, by the
number
way.
2.
Number 2, Nick Chubb. Pretty much a big stud on the Browns.
Kareem
Out
Hunt.
of Georgia, number 24 on the Browns. He was picked in the 2nd round. I had him on my fantasy team last year. Not in this league, though. He is a great yardage guy. Maybe not a red zone, high volume touchdown guy, but still got a lot of upside. He's going to be used a lot between the 25s, and he's number 2 for that reason. Number 3, undrafted Pro Bowler, Philip Lindsay on the
Not
Denver
Lindsay.
Broncos. Not Philip Lindsay. That's
Philip
wrong.
Lindsay.
Philip Lindsay.
Look,
He's-
if you nickname the guy Hairspray, then you gotta say Lindsay. Like,
He's a pretty good weapon overall. The Broncos don't have a lot going for him on offense because they had Case Keenum and now they have Joe Flacco. But either way,
Oh, they have Royce Freeman, if that means anything.
straight garbage.
True.
But yeah,
on your team.
No, I traded him.
Oh,
Philip Lindsay, number 3. Number 4, Sony Michel, Patriots running back out of Georgia as well. Teammates with Nick Chubb in college. He made some plays in the playoffs. Had really good games.
see, that's the thing, though.
Although he does split carries with James White.
Julius, can I just say?
James
Yeah.
White.
Can someone else talk
I-
here?
Yeah, like, come on.
James
we gotta
White.
talk about Belichick and his
We're going to
system.
talk about Belichick.
Yeah, think
Okay,
about
let's-
it. Like, Belichick is zagging when everyone's zigging, so you have to take Sony as like a higher tier. Think about it. Like, if everyone's like getting their lower and lower size linebackers, and Belichick just goes full jumbo packages with Sony, I mean,
True.
he's gonna have
So,
yards.
Would you say that if you increase the value of Sony Michel because of Belichick, do you increase the value of James White?
No, James
No,
White.
James White's trash.
James White, I feel like he's reached his ceiling.
Is
Like,
he on your team, Julius?
you know what you're
Yeah.
getting with him.
Yeah. He's trying to inflate his
Yeah,
value
Julius,
before
I'd
he
sell him
flips him.
fast. before
He was
anyone
trying to
else
sell him to me before the show.
What I see here is faulty logic. But either way,
Who's fifth?
we're gonna look for that right now.
Alright. Nick Chubb again. On his
Nick
list.
Chubb. Oh yeah,
Ronald Jones.
Kerryon Johnson, pretty big threat. He's a great receiver, good running back overall.
Who did Lions pick up?
C.J. Anderson.
Oh,
Picked
yeah,
up C.J.
yeah.
Anderson because they don't want to overwork their man. Their man.
They don't want to. Seems like they don't want to work him at all. They just brought in a running back who's probably better than
They
him.
said that they're not going to baby him, but they're not going to overwork him. That's what their quote is.
So a guy with few carries.
Do you want to know a guy with few carries?
Darius guy.
Darius Guys, 0 carries.
I already knew how it was going.
Has not gotten a carry.
It's true.
All right, moving on to receivers here. What do we got?
Receivers. Number 1, although this was a pretty weak receiver class, only 2 first-round picks. Not great production. Number 1, Calvin Ridley, Falcons wide receiver. He was pretty touchdown dependent. One game he had some monster games, but then he also had some pretty low, bad games.
I mean,
I think
most
we're
you can
gonna see-
hope for from a rookie, though.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we're going to see more of the monster
But,
games. Maybe not this year, but for sure 2020.
we could see him become a pretty prominent
Yeah.
receiver.
How
in the
long
Falcons
until he
offense
overtakes
this time.
Julio?
I don't think he will
He would
overtake
never
Julio.
will.
Never?
until he
When
retires.
Julio retires.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't
Yeah.
see him overtaking Julio.
You don't think it'll be like a Roddy White Julio situation?
No.
Could be.
I mean,
I think Julio's getting paid too much to not get more balls than Calvin Ridley. I mean, am I wrong? He's getting paid like $20 million, right?
So is
Well, either way, Calvin Ridley's number 1. Number 2, DJ Moore, Panthers wide receiver. I think he's shown a lot of good upside.
yeah,
Only
Cam
problem-
Newton
I think
fell
has
off.
more upside
only,
than-
only problem is Cam Newton doesn't have a great throwing motion. And he doesn't have great throwing accuracy.
His shoulder's about to fall off.
His shoulder is pretty injured.
Moore also has
But,
a straight path to the throne right now. I mean,
That's
Yeah, there's
true.
no one else
Yeah,
there.
bunch of-
Curtis
not a
Samuel.
lot
Curtis
Samuel left.
Curtis Samuel's there. He's the only guy there.
Is no longer
Wait,
in
who is?
Carolina.
Curtis Samuel.
Oh yeah, Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel, also pretty good.
Yeah, I was
but
thinking
not on
that's
this list. DJ Moore, number 2. Number 3, Antonio Callaway, Browns wide receiver.
I disagree.
Another weapon for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
I think
also the third
he's
guy.
like he's like the
Well,
he's
I
like
agree.
the
Name a
Callaway-
relevant third wide receiver.
he's like the 5th weapon on his own team.
What's wrong with that? Then he plays the 5th best cornerback.
He won't get
Yeah.
he won't
He's
top.
not going to get anything.
I have Sutton above him because Sutton's the number 1.
I'd say Christian Kirk actually would be.
Christian
Third.
Kirk. We're gonna project here and say that Kyler Murray goes to the
Yeah,
Cardinals
we kinda
here.
get it.
Kyler Murray, pretty good quarterback, I'd say. I think also Christian Kirk has a great personal connection with Kyler Murray that could also translate
do?
to the field. Yeah, they were friends in high school and college.
Oh,
Yeah.
Antonio Callaway is on waivers in our league, so if you really want him, you can pick him up.
I might have to do that because I also have Alan Hearns on my team, which you may not have heard of.
Maybe I'll pick up Callaway.
But
right now, just to
Callaway,
flip
yeah, number
him.
3.
Then
4.
trade him to Julius.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
4 is Christian Kirk.
he's actually
we
looking
already-
him up right as we speak.
We already.
And proposing
Wow.
a trade right now.
I just want to go over the fact that Kyler Murray, great quarterback,
Fantastic quarterback.
fantastic quarterback, future Ethan.
All
starting
right,
quarterback.
let's not crown
Top-
the guy. There's
we
been
can't-
plenty
yeah.
of first rounders that haven't panned out.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah, but
I mean, he
not
looks
really
good.
quarterback.
And now they're all on Julius's team.
Or
That's true.
soon to be with the 2019 picks on Isaac's team.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then in the
But-
free agency.
Okay, let me get through this here. Number 5, Cortland Sutton, Denver Broncos wide receiver. He's a number 1, pretty big guy, pretty good receiver.
Who's thrown to him though?
Joe Flacco?
No one has ever
Elite.
said Flacco's name
Elite.
like that.
He's elite. He won a
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
It's always
so
Joe
pretty much-
Flacco.
Yeah,
Pretty
I-
much the
Super
best
Bowl winning quarterback. Joe
Super Bowl
Flacco.
winning quarterback.
Yeah, MVP,
Does
Super Bowl
Super Bowl
MVP.
MVP. Does that mean nothing
Joe
to you
Flacco.
guys? It means a lot to me.
It means nothing to me at this
It doesn't mean
point.
anything to me.
I don't know. I'd rather take Von
Alright,
Miller
well, if you're
throwing the
still
ball.
starting over Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I got for those 2018 rookies.
All right. Who are we?
So-
I mostly agree with all that.
So now we're going to be doing the most underrated and overrated players in fantasy. Each of us will choose one or the other, and then we'll talk about why we think that player is underrated or overrated. Who wants to start?
I'll
Right.
start.
Okay.
I'll start
Just
with Chiefs running back Damian Williams. They signed him to an extension, and he made some.
You think he is underrated or overrated?
I believe he's underrated. I failed to mention this,
underrated,
but
really.
he's underrated. The Chiefs used their running backs very well with Andy Reid in that offense, and he made some really good plays.
He's underrated. Why did you trade him away?
I was stupid at the time. But he made a lot of plays in the playoffs that lead me to believe that he's a very capable running back in a system, and he could be, a top 25 running back.
I'm going to go a little bit of both underrated and overrated with Amari Cooper.
So neutral.
So he's just rated. So he's just rated. He's
Well,
rated.
No, we're just going to say he's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
I mean,
How?
being the best receiver on the team
Depending on how you
is,
look at it.
is a
Alright,
good thing.
alright.
Depending on
He
how you
just
look at it.
had a
Describes
lot of
every
upside.
player.
Yeah.
Then again, he has gone with many low-scoring games.
Yes, I agree with that. I would say he's a streaky player. Some games he has like 30 points, other games he has like 7.
Is that
And
more
more
of
of the
just
7-point
adjusting to the
games.
offense, or is it his own talent? Like, I think
I'd
he had
say-
the highest yards
I'd
separation.
say also Dak Prescott does not have the best deep ball accuracy, and he's not always the best passing quarterback in general. So
Yeah.
Amari Cooper depends. He can be really underrated just because he can have huge games, but he can also be overrated because he can have really
But
bad games.
he
So
gets
he's a
the
boomer.
targets though.
He's a
so-
boomer bust guy.
I guess. I'll give you that.
I'd say he's a boomer bust
yeah,
guy.
he's a Tyreek Hill player.
but
not as good.
A little bit worse.
Yeah,
And
that's
a
fair.
little bit
That's-
less
that's fair.
child
That's
beating.
fair.
But yeah.
That's true.
All right. He's still innocent at the time of this recording, so let's get that clear.
Yeah, the justice system.
Why do you think he
Hey,
will-
all right. Well, let's move on.
Yeah, let's not get into that
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, enough of that.
So I'm gonna say that Julio Jones is underrated, and here is why. A lot of people value Julio. No, a lot of people value Julio high, but they're sleeping on him because of his age. I think that Julio has showed no sign of regression. The guy is always a top 10 wide receiver without even getting any look in the red zone. So I think that Julio is underrated for those reasons, and I would take him higher than he's being valued right now.
Didn't they say no signs of regression for like Peyton Manning, and then like?
Well,
halfway
this is
through
a
the year-
this is a completely different thing.
Yeah, but you could fall off at any time. I mean,
So-
one bad injury and you're done.
So Devontae Adams over there.
Okay. Well,
So what do
One
you
more
have?
question?
underrated?
Or overrated?
I'm gonna go with underrated here. Lamar Miller.
Oh
Like,
my god!
I feel like
At least I didn't
he
say
doesn't
one
get
guy
the
in my
value he
own team.
deserves.
I didn't say a guy in my own team. Ryan did.
All right.
Every trade Ryan has, Lamar Miller. You want Lamar Miller,
Yeah.
and it never goes through.
I checked Ryan's his team document, and the thing said to try to move Lamar Miller.
All right. Well, that doesn't mean he's.
So this is him
Look,
talking.
I'm fine
he's
with keeping Lamar Miller.
this
I'm
is a
just saying,
pump and dump.
a consistent 10-point player is someone every team needs, and a lot of teams like X and X over here don't have someone to look for on their team that they can just say
one consistent.
they can just
player,
put them in their
Is he gonna
lineup and
fix
know
my
they're
team?
at least getting that many.
One consistent player will not fix my team. Right now, I'm going for boomer bust guys. And
Mostly
trying to
bust.
trade on those guys.
Yeah. That's what happens though.
It's-
is
but-
what happens when you get to the championship and those guys bust?
They won't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That's
Ryan,
true.
Not quite so soon.
My takeaway from this is
Again, I'll say it every episode. You need a Lamar Miller on
for
your
a team like mine, where I have such a little chance of winning on a week-to-week basis, that I'd rather have 4 wins where I have a huge week for everybody, and then like a bunch of losses for when they actually regress to the mean. But if I have like a consistent guy, then I'm just gonna be consistently losing by like 20 points.
No, you have that's your team's backbone is the consistent
Yeah,
guys.
I agree. You need a backbone, but
You can have those boom bust guys, but you definitely need backbone. To give you this plateau, and then the other guys can build you the
Yes.
mountain.
I agree with that statement.
Thank you.
However,
First time we've heard an agree.
However,
on
I
this show.
do need more boomer bust guys because my team isn't great.
So we're gonna move on to the 2019 rookies. You guys have been waiting for it. Julius has a lot of knowledge
No,
to
I
drop
haven't.
on us,
I've got my research done.
and we'll chime in when we have.
Oh, color coded. Well
He's
done.
got a full color-coded document. So let's see what you got.
All right. Well, first takeaway from 2019 rookies are that the QBs it's pretty top heavy with just one guy, Kyler Murray, and a lot of the guys are unpredictable, and nobody's a guaranteed starter except Kyler Murray. Dwayne Haskins, you might be asking.
Here, pause for a second. I was expecting up Antonio Callaway, just so the viewers know.
Whatever.
This is live action.
Live action.
I'm
Waivers
I'm
here.
thinking of who to drop. Tyler Croft. Yeah, you're gone.
Oh my god.
Guys, we've got an in-podcast fantasy transaction.
Damn, I just got the notification. This is.
You actually didn't. It
This is
didn't go
some
through
crazy
yet.
stuff, guys.
Oh,
Live
that must have
action
just been a
stuff.
text.
Now it did.
Dwayne Haskins is a decent prospect coming out, but I think he's a little bit overrated, and he might not be a day one starter for an NFL team. So
But he does have the size though.
he has the
I feel like
size.
if
The
but
Giants like the size of.
If
Dwayne
you're taking a
Haskins.
QB in the first round, he's usually going to be a first day
what
starter.
about the Bengals? The Bengals have Andy Dalton.
Well, it depends. I mean,
What-
but I
what
mean,
about- what
anyone
about
in the top.
Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, did they play him right away?
Look, Mahomes
Baker
is
Mayfield.
overrated. I'll say it now.
Mahomes had a
Mahomes
red
is due for regression.
he had a redshirt year his rookie year. This is not about current players. This is about incoming rookies here, Ryan.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna
I'm
stick
just
to that.
saying, Dwayne Haskins will probably.
Dwayne Haskins has
He'll
some
be a first-day starter.
We'll just say he has some question marks.
All right.
I'm not saying he's a
That's
bad
fair.
prospect. I'm not saying he's going to be a bad quarterback. I'm saying he has some red flags that maybe fantasy owners should look out for.
and probably not take him with their first overall pick.
Don't take him with the first round pick. Wait till the third round.
Unless you're in Superflex.
That's true. And anybody else like Daniel Jones and Drew Lock, not exactly reliable fantasy assets, but maybe some upside there. Running back. There's no clear first running back that will be a number one pick like Saquon Barkley was, but there are some diamond in the rough guys like Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery. Josh Jacobs is pretty much the number one.
Diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough in
Uh.
terms of like, you may not see them coming. Not everyone may see them coming.
I mean, these guys look up any ADP charts and they're
I mean,
top two.
Yes, they're top two. But we're talking about
The rough of this draft class.
we're talking about actual NFL draft here. We're talking third round,
Oh,
fourth
sure.
round
sure.
guys.
For our
For
our
rookie-
rookie draft, where
For rookie
where's
draft,
these guys go?
rookie draft purposes, yes, there will be first round running backs like Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, maybe a couple other guys. But not super top heavy, not a clear number one. But Josh Jacobs
Not
would be
bottom
number
heavy
one.
either.
It's mid heavy.
There's no heavy.
Well,
Lightweights.
have you done your research? Whatever, man.
Oh, geez.
And wide receiver, again, not a super top heavy class, but there's crazy depth and some good upside for a lot of guys here. 10 or more guys, I'd say, have decent fantasy upside.
Can you list a few of those?
I can.
Well,
My top 5 include DK Metcalf at number 1, N'Keal Harry at number 2,
Fans overheated.
AJ Brown,
Yeah.
who AJ Brown may arguably be a better receiver than DK Metcalf in the NFL.
DK
Yeah,
Metcalf
cool
just has the
down.
size.
DK Metcalf has a much higher upside, a much lower floor than AJ Brown. And Marquise Brown, pretty big playmaker. He's the cousin of Antonio Brown, by the way.
He
goes
is,
by
really?
he is.
Yeah, Hollywood
Oh, wow.
Brown.
He goes by the nickname
He
Hollywood.
just shot up my draft board like 5 slots.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown.
The
Just
one
shot.
line.
Shot down mine.
We're looking at a Tyreek Hill-esque player here in Marquise Brown from Oklahoma, received from Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield both.
So maybe that overvalued him a little bit?
Maybe a little bit, but he's also a good receiver.
Yeah.
He- only
But if
que-
he goes to a team with a quarterback like those two,
Yeah, I guess.
then you might see some similar numbers.
main question mark here is that he only weighs about 166 pounds.
Oh,
What?
God.
Who, Marquise
All right,
Brown?
he just shot
Marquise-
down my
yeah,
draft
Marquise
board.
Brown.
Fast.
Yeah.
Right back
He's
to his original
5'9".
position.
I weigh more than that guy.
Yeah.
Everyone here does.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And number 5, Hakeem Butler. He's kind of like DK Metcalf Jr., but like
Hey,
maybe
look,
a little bit better
Juju
catching
Smith-Schuster
skills.
Jr.? Wait, no.
I'm sorry, what?
what?
I was going for like juniors and like Odell, but that was
Hakeem Butler, number
Junior
5, from
Junior
Iowa State.
Smith-Schuster.
That's my wide. Those are some wide receiver notables there. Some pretty good depth, and some guys I haven't mentioned: Debo Samuel, Paris Campbell, Terry McLaurin. Also guys that
Yeah,
Maybe.
have potential.
They
you
have
know.
potential.
Receivers, you never know
Or-
what you're gonna
yeah,
get. They
receiver
can always.
Whiteside.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside out of Stanford. Yes, he's a Jordy Nelson comp for me. Pretty good player. He has maybe the best body control in the whole draft. Well,
Who do you think's the best route runner?
The
Route
best
runner.
what? All right.
What'd you just say?
Comment down below how you pronounce. Is it
how
route
they
or
call it.
route?
Route
Oh,
runner.
We say route. Ryan
The
says
best-
route. Let us know.
The best route
Wisconsin
runner.
roots here.
The best route runner in this class is A.J. Brown from Ole Miss.
Hear what I did there?
DK Metcalf's
I
teammate.
got it.
Yeah. All right, just don't want to let it go unnoticed.
A.J. Brown, smooth slot receiver, good route runner, overall good guy. If he goes to the Packers, I'll be pretty scared.
All right, shout out my
So yeah,
draft board.
So what teams are looking at some of these players?
well,
DK Metcalf.
I know that DK Metcalf is.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, keep going, keep
Just
going.
keep going.
Just so
You got that? You
Yeah, I got
yeah.
Just trying to cut that one out of the audio. All right, keep going, guys.
What are you laughing at?
Sorry. I'll tell you later.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
Was it something we said?
No, it's something I
All right,
said.
all right, cut. There you go.
All right. Well, some teams that are looking at DK Metcalf here, probably the Jaguars at 7, the Bills at 9, the Packers at 12 for sure.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why not?
Because we don't need a receiver that bad. I'd rather spend like the 30th pick on like
On AJ Brown,
yeah, or someone
Or
of that
maybe-
caliber, and not
maybe
DK Metcalf is too risky with his like 3-cone and his
It's
agility.
true. He has the
I
same
wouldn't
agility
wanna,
as Tom
like,
Brady.
That's like
Wasn't it
wasting
worse
like the
than Tom
8th pick
Brady?
on like Devin White.
I
You don't
will
want that
actually,
kind of
I do know
receiver.
that it was in the wheelhouse. I'd say that teams that aren't exactly looking for him, the Dolphins, Redskins maybe. They need some receiving help, I'd say. But the question is, will he fall to 15?
Alright.
And the Redskins maybe need a quarterback more. So that's some teams for DK Metcalf on the radar.
All right, Julius.
What do you think is the golden team for DK?
The Buffalo Bills, for sure.
Really?
Yes.
Shock.
His deep prowess mixed with Josh Allen's just
Yeah, I
straight
guess-
pure
yeah, I
throwing
guess-
strength.
I guess Allen is more of a gunslinger, so
And DK
Yes.
has
yeah,
a
DK could definitely be
40-inch
like a
vertical.
box out guy.
and
He has the
DK,
size and strength to box out the guys to catch the ball.
yeah.
his best route
Until
is
they
the
start
go
drug
route.
testing
He's
him.
a-
He'll have the strength until he has to move off the roids.
I do not believe the 3% body fat that he has.
Well, there's no way.
1.6%.
It was 1.6%.
It was, yeah.
That's
We've been over
Yeah,
this.
rest in peace,
We've
DK.
been- yeah.
If you have that.
Rip 5% is like. barely
Oh crap! My
sustainable.
fridge is empty. Oh, nice knowing you guys.
I don't think I can make it to the grocery
Yeah.
store.
yeah.
Well, that rounds off the wide receivers. Tight end, I'd say T.J. Hawkinson from Iowa is the tight end 1 in this class.
Over Fan?
Yes.
What do you think makes him better than Fan?
I'd say he's just an overall better catcher of the football.
All right.
Maybe a more well-rounded route runner.
Who do you think has the higher ceiling, though?
Noah Fant for sure has
Yeah.
a higher ceiling than T.J.
I
Hawkinson.
may be wrong, but didn't George Kittle come out of Iowa?
He did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're starting to become tight end
Yes,
university.
and there are some comparisons between Hawkinson and George Kittle.
Did they
It's just
both
a matter
go
of
Iowa?
Yeah.
Hawkinson and
Ken
Fant?
Hawkinson.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
They're a big duo right now.
wow.
What's
And
the map?
Noah Fant, he's pretty big and athletic, although he has questionable hands. He had
Stone hands.
a lot of drops.
Yeah,
compared
but
to-
I feel like that can be coached
his
pretty
target
easy.
percentage and his drops were pretty questionable
Oh,
there.
yeah, the tape.
You can't coach athleticism, but you can
Yeah.
coach catching.
Yes,
Treadwell. I mean,
Yeah, I guess you
Okay,
can't coach.
yeah.
Some Vikings
true.
can't coach.
That's-
That's true.
Yeah.
But without that, even I mean, Fant is just really high upside. I think Eric Ebron, but he could be Eric Ebron on the Lions where he just drops it, or he could be Eric Ebron on the Colts where he catches a bunch of touchdowns. So I mean, either way, I think Eric Ebron is a pretty good comp for Noah Fant, as well as that. Yes, and now my third tight end here is Irv Smith Jr. out of Alabama. He would be scary if he went to the Patriots because he's just overall a solid guy. He's a little bit undersized, but he's a good catcher, good at running routes. I'd say he's smaller than O.J. Howard, but a little bit comparable, and just because they both played for Alabama, it kind of reminds me of that. And some underrated guys in this class, Jay Sternberger out of Texas A&M and Foster Moreau out of LSU. If any of them go to the Patriots, they could become a threat instantly. If not, they might just be a bottom barrel type of guy that is developmental.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree.
And I'd like to also touch on Kyler Murray here to just really reinforce how I feel about him.
his skills.
He's-
very-
Writing him a love letter right
Yeah.
I
now?
would say
Dear Kyler
No.
Murray.
I would say he should be the consensus number 1 pick in this draft. He's the best QB. I don't think you should be scared of his height. Russell Wilson has proved that you don't exactly need to be tall. to
Russell
be
Wilson is
quarterback.
also 2 inches taller.
Well, 5'10" and an eighth checks a box for some people. And a lot of his O-line at Oklahoma was 6'5" and up. And
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a problem either.
He
But
can definitely scramble out of the pocket and has the speed to run in this.
he is
against
a,
college linebackers.
now,
That is true.
don't get this mixed up. He's not exactly a scrambler. He had a 94.6 overall passing grade and a 93.8 grade from the pocket. This is according to PFF here. And from the pocket, he was
first
better-
source on the podcast.
Yes,
Yeah.
my source is PFF. He is a better pocket passer than he is an outside the pocket passer.
But
And
he can definitely pass from out of the
he
pocket.
he definitely can. He had an 84 grade out of the pocket, which was very solid. And his grade under pressure was a 90.4, which is pretty astronomical if you think about his height and just some guys just really don't have the traits of being able to play well under pressure. I think Kirk Cousins maybe, Dwayne Haskins a little bit, Sam Bradford. Those guys not great under pressure.
Was two
But
Vikings
Kyler
quarterbacks.
Murray definitely is, yes. But he does have some question marks. If he goes to Arizona, will he have a good enough O-line? Will he have enough? Will he have enough
I'll tell you now.
weapons?
Will he have an
No.
line?
No, I'll tell you
And
that.
does his height actually matter? I say no. Some people say yes.
Alright.
Some people say maybe.
So dream team for Kyler Murray.
Dream team for Kyler Murray.
The Patriots.
like-
the
Pick
Patriots.
the best team for a QB.
No, and then teams that are looking for
Oh.
or that had picks or looking for quarterbacks.
Teams that have picks.
I'd rather have him going to.
The Oakland Raiders.
I think the
would be
Giants would be
pretty
amazing.
scary.
No,
The
with
Giants
Odell
are not
maybe.
gonna take
but
him. You realize Dave Gettleman openly does not like.
But having
Kyler Murray.
Saquon Barkley. Yeah, well,
Smoke
I
screens,
wouldn't-
people.
Listen,
He
the
also
Giants.
thinks that Eli will be there for the next 3 years.
Even if
Smoke
guys,
screens.
even if the Giants wanted, even if the Giants were able to pick Kyler Murray, if he fell to number 6, they're still not picking him because they're just that way.
I think
I think they're just faking it.
Yeah, that's a smoke screen.
I think
You wouldn't want the other teams to know that.
the only feasible options he could go to are the Cardinals or the Raiders. Anywhere else, I don't think they're going to pick him. And if he gets picked by somebody else and you come back to this video after the draft,
I will.
I'll take that heat. That's fine. Because I'm pretty sure of that. And bottom line is, he's almost as sure thing as it gets, as dynamic as it gets, and he's a new age QB with unlimited potential.
Well said.
Think Russell Wilson, but maybe more, maybe less.
I'm feeling a little bit more. He may not show it 2019, but
Really like those more and less takes.
Yeah.
Plus or minus
Non-committal.
Russell Wilson.
He could be better. He could be worse.
Yes.
there's only
Yeah.
2 options.
So we're going to end off the episode by doing one more keep trade cut. This one, we're going to receivers. Pretty good receivers, 3 of them. Who will you keep? Who will you
If
trade? Who will you
say
cut?
Diggs,
We have
marked
we
out
have
pretty good. On
Antonio
that
Brown, Stephon Diggs,
Uh.
and Keenan Allen. Antonio Brown, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen.
Alright.
Who are you keeping, trading, and
I can
cutting?
go first. And it's
Alright.
probably gonna be obvious.
Is this Antonio Brown before?
This is like right now.
right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm dropping Diggs. That's easy. Diggs sucks. Overrated. Not
Packer
very
fan. Okay. Who are
good.
you?
I'm probably gonna keep Keenan Allen. He's younger. He's got more upside with Philip Rivers. I don't trust David Carr to Derek Carr.
I don't trust David Carr either.
Yeah, and the Raiders, they're rebuilding right now. They're not going to be contending for anything, so their offense isn't going to be super high powered. That's why I'm going with that.
I think I would keep Stephon Diggs for sure. He's young. He's finding Kirk Cousins is still finding his groove in the Minnesota offense. Adam Thielen is still taking the number 1 spot on the team, so that opens up good, easy coverage for Diggs to break. And I would be trading Keenan Allen. He's got a lot of name value. He's young.
Mhm.
He's 26. And Antonio Brown, I would cut him.
You're dropping one of the greatest receivers of all time.
He's
Well,
28 years old, like, right? He's like 29.
I think he's older.
He's
I think
actually
30.
30?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
If
gosh.
there's someone
30.
with name value,
He's
on the
it's
Raiders.
Antonio Brown.
Now I'm
And
now I'm
He's
dropping
30.
him.
He's going on 31.
And he doesn't
Yeah.
have the.
Looks pretty good for 30. Jeez.
Okay.
He can have
30,
access.
30 isn't really that old.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll see you at 30.
What he said.
I mean,
what he
30
said to
NFL
Juju-
30 looks a
All
lot
right,
different
yeah.
than
or-
post
Let's let
NFL
Ethan
30 is a
finish
lot
his
different
points
than
here.
yeah. So
So what he said to Juju, he doesn't strike me as a good teammate. I don't think he's gonna have good connections in Oakland. So that's why I would cut him.
Here's my opinion. I am going to keep Keenan Allen. I think that Chargers offense is pretty high powered. Philip Rivers, pretty good gunslinger there. He's as Ethan mentioned, he's 26, pretty good. Stephon Diggs is 25. I'm gonna trade AB, Antonio Brown, because
Mr. Big Chest.
Mr. Big Chest, yes, blonde mustache.
NBC.
He is he's really productive. He's also going on 31 years old. We don't know how long he can keep this up for. He's also on a new team. All his value could change in an instant depending on week 1 and how Derek Carr looks in the new and not the new offense, but in his offense.
They might get Kyler Murray, so that would really help his value.
Derek Carr might not be the starter. We don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna trade Antonio Brown while his value is still decently high. I'm gonna cut Stephon Diggs because
Yeah, that's a great choice.
Oh.
although
done.
I'm a Viking homer, I
You're a
can't-
realist as well.
I can't. I'm also realistic. I cannot advocate Stephon Diggs over these 2 other guys. He's just really good, but inconsistent sometimes. He doesn't always have the biggest games. Doesn't always have the highest fantasy ceiling. So I'm gonna have to cut him.
What I would do is I would keep Keenan Allen, and I think that Keenan Allen he's the obvious number 1 on his team. They just lost Tyrell Williams, even though
Mike Williams
Even-
is coming up.
Even though Hunter Henry's coming back, I think that Hunter Henry is not going to really eat into any targets that would be Keenan Allen's, whereas Tyrell Williams might have been taking away some of those looks. I'll be trading Stephon Diggs. I believe that he has more trade value than Antonio Brown because he's like 5 years younger. And I'll be cutting Brown, even though he's still really good. I just think that he's the worst of these 3.
Yeah, when I said that, I'm not saying that Antonio Brown isn't good. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
just in this
in
situation,
the situation.
any of these guys you'd be fine keeping on your team.
All right. Any final thoughts, guys?
I actually want to end on one note. I can be a really stubborn trader. I am not the worst trader in the league.
Who do you think is the worst and best? I actually want to hear this.
Well, best trader is probably I'd have to go with Jeremy. He's the most fair guy, I think.
Have you made a trade with Jeremy?
Well, I haven't been.
Has Jeremy made?
It's
Has
easy
Jeremy?
to say he's a fair trader.
The
when
thing
you've
is,
never made a
has
fair
Jeremy made a trade with anyone?
Well,
trade. I traded with Jeremy.
all right. I just want to say that I am not the worst. I am stubborn,
Okay, who
but
is the
Ryan
worst?
is also stubborn.
I'm not stubborn.
When
The
I,
funny thing is, you guys are being stubborn about not being stubborn.
no,
Do you
I
see?
admit. I admit.
I bring these guys trades every single day, and they're like, wow, these actually
Okay.
give everyone what they need.
Comment
Yeah.
below.
How can I?
Would you do Cooper Cup for Mark Ingram, McGuire, and John Ross?
All right,
Pretty much
look,
Rashad
this was
Ross.
3 months ago.
All right.
3 months ago. Let's keep that in mind. Bell had
so-
signed.
Just comment below.
Who's
if you would take that
McGuire?
trade.
Jerry McGuire? I don't even know.
Elijah.
Elijah.
So
Career backup.
just
Almost
because
won me a
I decline
championship.
trade does not make me a bad trader. I just do not want to get screwed over like I was in the beginning. It's my first year of fantasy. I made some pretty bad trades early
Oh
on.
no, you only got Kittle for Gronk.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm a bad trader, I started with Julio, Gronk, and Tower Williams,
Oh boy.
and ended up with Odell, Geis, Cook, and
All right, when do we get to the good guys?
Njoku.
She ended up with Odell. No, I'm just kidding.
I would say Ethan just has different player valuations as everyone else.
Very different.
That is fine. I also am known to value my players a little bit
I
different.
mean, everyone is. Everyone values their players a little bit high.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for coming on the show. Comment down below who you want to see on the next episodes. I probably won't listen, but comment down below.
There probably won't be any comments.
Just so I know that you're still watching. So thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Yeah.